Hi everyone, welcome back to IT Genius Cyber in another tutorial again for C programming, and this is the second tutorial to show you how to code in C programming. For the first tutorial I showed you how to know the very first basics of C language and the very initials of C language, what you were required to know about C language before you go into the code. Okay, how is C applied and how to know and how the origin of C originated and more about C. But to this time we are going to now apply what we learned in the first tutorial, the variables, the operators, and okay, let me try to open this. Okay, so this software is going to be provided into the description, so you can use Bolland, or you can use this, or you can use any other software that can compile code in C. So if I tell you have this, then you're on the right track. Let us try to go with that. Open file, we open a new code. So first of all, C is given by an extension of .cpp, if you didn't know that. So the file extension for a code of C is .cpp. So whenever you're saving a new file or you're saving, you should save under that extension. Let me try to open a new notepad. Don't save this. Okay, so here we are going to talk about the ethics of C language. Ethics of C language. Okay, the first one, we're going to talk about the first one. In C language, the first line of a program should be having a code that is indicated as hash include. So you write hash include, then sorry for the background interference, background sound and noise. So I was still saying, for the first line you should always write this hash include, then we put those opening tags, then put studio dot h. So always your first line should be that before you go in for any other code, or before you write any other code below that, you should write that as your first line. And what's the main purpose of hash include .h? What's its main purpose? This is mainly, if I'm to really talk about this, it's a processor command which tells the C compiler to include this stdio.h. It's a processor command which tells C compiler to include studio.h tag file before going into any actual compilation. So before any code that you're going to write below, before it's compiled under the C, this is the command hash include that sends sorry for that. This is the command hash include that sends that file before you compile, or before your code is compiled into C. So if I write hash include .h, then I close tag. Okay, this is the first line. So second, the next line should have, try to go here. The next line should have main, with an opening and a closing bracket. And what's the purpose of that? The next line, main, then opening and close bracket, is the main function where the program execution begins. Then for 3, I shall also try to put this main. Did I write it correctly? Main, that. Then to go to the next line, the next line you can decide to put a comment. We have different comments, but for the comment I can decide to put it either there for the third line, or to even put it as the first line, because the comment is not recognized by the compiler. Otherwise it's just displayed as a comment after saving. So for the comments, we have different comments. We have the line comment as a backslash. Let me first put here this. So we have a comment as this. Maybe I can decide to put a comment as Nelly. If at all not that, I can decide to use this. Then put asterisk this. Then I write whatever I want to write. If at all, I can even go down, then I close with an asterisk, and forward slash. Okay, so these are two different comments. I have this from here, sorry. I have this, and I have this, and I have this. They are two different comments. For this comment, it only comments any character or any statement that you're writing in one line. So it only gives you one line comment after saving your code. But this one, you can choose to write a comment whether you're having different tabs within your code, and you're giving a comment that is having multiple tabs. So you have to use this. But for only one line, if you decide to hit enter and still write, this comment will not be recognized, and it won't appear, because this one only gives you one line commentary, and this other one can still work as one line, because I can decide to erase this. Maybe I want to comment Nelly IT genius, and still decide to use this. It can work as a one line comment, or I can still opt to use this asterisk, and I write IT enter genius, and I put on my asterisk plus the forward slash. So this is the same as this. If I try to put my comment here, I can decide to put my comment here, but most probably I prefer to put the comments as first, not in the code. Maybe I'm going to use this. Then I put IT genius, and if I make an output of this, we don't close the ending of a comment as putting this. No, we don't include that, because when you include it, this will also be included under your comment after saving. the entire of it. So it's better just leave it like that. So if I try to go to the next line, you should have opening brackets where you're going to write your code, that, and within this field is where you're going to fill your code. So the next thing that you have to write is return return 0, then close. We close at the ending of any line using using that operator. So this is the field where we're going to fill our entire code here, but keep in mind that this has to be the first line and this has to be the second line, and we don't also close the function. We don't close functions. Okay, so let us try to write anything. In the first tutorial I showed you how to declare, and I previously showed you the different variables, how to declare them, and let us try to declare anything here. So maybe this time around I want to declare an integer. Yes, int. Then to declare a variable integer, declare it, then give space. What is your integer? What is your name of your integer? Maybe I'm having what should I write? Maybe I'm having item. That my integer is item. I'm having an item 1. Okay, having an item 1. Sorry, we have to close. And I'm also declaring int, an integer, item 2. Okay, have to close. Don't forget to close the declaration line. So after that means I'm declaring a variable int, and it's an item, of which an item is an integer or a number. We looked at that in the previous tutorial. If you're watching this tutorial and you have not watched the first tutorial, please, the link to the first tutorial is going to be provided in this description of the video. So first check it and get to the second video. Okay, after declaring that, then this time I want to print. Maybe I want to print print. We only print all output with printf. Let me also include it here. Printf. And remember we talked about how printf works. Printf it only works as an output for any character, for any statement that you've provided within the code. And we write printf that the commas, you put that. And what's the main importance of the double commas? What's the main importance of the double commas? This is where we fill the statement, we fill the character that we are going to be displayed. So whatever you fill inside these double quotes is going to be printed out. If you don't fill in anything, then you'll have nothing displayed. So you can write any code in an entire code without outputting anything under printf. You won't get anything. Okay. So this time maybe I'm to write printf, then I put out display maybe I'm to put out my C programming code. Okay, yeah, my C programming code. Then after that, sorry for that, we have to close the printf like that. We close the printf like that. Hit enter. Let me hope we had already put the return 0. Yes, it's there. Okay. And if I'm to say, if I'm to print, or if I'm to run the code, that means I should have an output of this, because it's the only one that I'm printing out. So if I try to do that, so I'm having my C programming code. Then, oh, what the hell, press any key to continue. So if you press any key, it disappears away. But why? remember when we displayed this, I'm having my C programming code initially. This is the only statement that is going to be displayed. And remember, we had written int item 1, int item 2. It's nowhere to be seen because these are variables. Variables are not displayed out there. Only what you write under printf will be displayed, and nothing under variable will be displayed unless when you call it under the printf. So after this, according to the display that we had before, we are not having a spacing of these words kind of fixed, so we can try to specify and put some spacing here. So we close this. To put space, or to put a line, or to put a new line, or maybe let me first copy this to illustrate this more. I'm going to copy this, then paste it down. I paste it down, then I write anything. Maybe I write my blah blah blah, my C programming code, first testing. Okay, yeah. After that, I run it. So we are having a collision here, that I'm having my C programming code first testing. I'm only having my C programming first testing, by the way. I'm not having any other. So I'll go ahead and write print. I'm having printf then first testing. So here I'll only put new line. To put a new line, we put \n \t new tab, so it will always be provided under new tab, \n \t. That's right, output. Okay, so we are having my C programming code as the first printout. If at all I want to put a new tab here after having my C programming code, so we first try to close that. That means if I want to add another tab, I can still provide it here. Another tab, also here another tab, after and before. So we here having a tab here. This tab, it gives you space to this, and also gives you more space from the main margin. So the more you have more tabs from the main margin, the more space you'll have to the code or to the printout you have made. Then if I'm having for the second line I'm having fast testing, I can put a new line. Or here, if I tend to put a new line, let me try to run that. I'm having a new line here now. Yeah, a new line. So after this means after this I'll always I have a new line, so the next paragraph or the next output will be under the next line. I can close this again, then back to this. If still I opt to put a new line, \n, also \n. After this, provide a new line, \n, then output. So you're seeing we are creating more space and creating more more new lines after any statement that we want. So it will always depend on you. And here I can try to put remove this tab, move the tab, then here I can provide a new tab. Also here I can provide a new tab, try to run, to compile, and that. Okay, after that, that is the display that we are having right now. So that is so far how we can do using printf. So we are going to see how to use the declaration. We are going to see how to declare. That is to do with printing. Then let us try to see why didn't we have anything to do with int item 1, int item 2. We're not having any display of this, and where is it? What is its importance? Maybe this time I'm not going to okay, let me try to so I'm having item 1 as my declaration first, while I'm having item 2. But remember, writing item 1, let me try to illustrate here. Writing item 1, if I'm to declare item no, sorry int item 1, then int item 2, int item 2, this is the same as writing int item 1, then comma, then provide space, item 2, then close. Don't forget to close, please. Also here, don't forget to close. Also here, don't forget to close. Don't forget to close. Then also printf, you always have to close. So this statement is the same as this statement. Why? For this one, you may not be in need of writing much or writing a sequence of tabs declaring many variables at once, all at different lines, but you only intend to write in one line. So if you intend to write in one line, you have to provide this. But if you intend to write many, because you might have many variables, and this time you will have to write int, you give an item, int, you give an item, sorry, int, you give an item. So this will waste time for you. I will really prefer you to use int, then item, then space, item 2, or space any item that one. Item, this is not a machine default character. It is just my character that I've chose, because you can try to use any other besides this. Okay, so for item 1, maybe I'm going to call for item 1 that printf fact, let me not call it item, let me call it item price. Okay, let me call it item 1 price. No, item price 1, and I can also call this item price 2. So if at all I declare them like that, or I can still remove item, So I'm doing this to show you that it's not a default that you should write item, so you can decide to declare any word you want according to what you're going to write about. So if I come here, then call for my printf, then put the brackets with the double quotes, then maybe I'm printing the price of item 1, then I'm closing price of item 1. So if I try to run this, it should give me price of item 1, but I'm having a problem here. This press any key to continue should be down, so that means I will always provide \n \t. Also here provide \n new line, \n new line \new tab. Okay, like that. Try to run. Okay, like that. All right. So here I'm printing. I want to print the price of item 1. Okay, but remember, I've not entered anything, I don't know the price of item 1, so I have to put that price of item 1, right? So I can decide to first enter the price of item 1. I can put tab, copy this, put it here, Ctrl V, and here I can decide to write enter capsule, enter item, or enter first item, because I have 2 different prices. First item, maybe yeah, enter first item. But before, when you're entering any character or entering any field, that means there should be saving of a field that you're entering. So that means to save it, you should put scanf variable, scanf function is saving that specific character or numeric character digit that you're going to enter, and it will store it. So the next time when you want to retrieve whatever you have stored, scanf will help you retrieve back what you have entered. Okay, so with scanf, I'll also provide the double quotes, sorry. Then with scanf, remember I told you with scanf it's stored by, in the storage directory, I told you it's stored by %d. Or in fact, for the scanf No, it's not mainly scanf that is stored by %d, because it can be percentage can be percentage f, can be percentage s, the character or what, but it only depends on the what you declared, the variable you declared. We declared int. That means we're having a variable. So the variable, I told you, for the variable int, it's having a storage location of %d. Then a variable float, it's having a storage location of %f. Then for a variable character char, then it's having a storage location of %s. Let me hope I'm clear there. So for int, it has to be %d. That means if I'm entering first item, remember, and the first price of an item, it's what I'm entering. First price, indeed. It had to be first price. I'm entering the first price of an item, but it's entered under int. Okay, so I'll call out for %d, then I'll put comma. After comma, then call for that price, or where you want to save whatever character you're going to put after this command. So I'll write the and, sorry for the background interference, and then I'll put price 1 price 1. Remember that if at all I chose to write price 1 in capital letters when I was declaring, that means also here I have to write price 1 in caps. If at all my first letter was capital letter, then here I also have to write capital letter first. So don't forget to know that, or to clarify on that. Then close. So here I'll have an access to store my price 1 I've entered as an integer. And the price 1, whatever I'm going to enter here after this print output, it's going to be stored in scanf and under price 1. Okay, so after that we can print here. Now we can print the price of item 1. If you entered it, we can also print it now. It can give us, so whatever is going to be printed is what you entered here. But how do we call for that? For the price, for the printf price of item 1, we should call it, we can decide to put a next line like print. You can call another print f, then put brackets, open up double quotes, then we call for %d, because our price 1 was an integer, and an integer is a numeric character. Okay, so remember, an integer is stored in a storage location of %d. Don't forget that. Okay, so %d is going to print out the price 1. But how do we call for price 1? Write print out the %d. But what is that %d? %d will not be displayed unless you call for it, then put space, put comma, then space, int. We'll call for price 1 that we stored price 1. Okay, you call for price 1, and after that we close. And after that we close. We can decide to run our code. Okay, so you already have these displayed. Then enter first item. if I enter first item, I can, for the first price of an item, 5,000, or I didn't put a next line here. Here I can decide whatever after here. I can put a new line, new tab. Also here, new line, new tab, run. Okay, now it's clean. Okay, after that, enter first item price, the first price item. I can decide to put 5,000, hit enter. So it's giving us that the price of item 1 is 5,000. Press any key to continue. You can also try to clean this very well. You can decide to put a new line, new tab, new line, new tab. Okay, try to run. Maybe 5,000. Okay, let me try to use a different one. 5, 6, 7,000. This, hit enter. So price of item 1 is this, and we have that new line and separated like that. So let me hope you have got to know how to declare a variable, and you have known how to scan and store and print whatever you've typed under C. So this field is for a warnings. You be provided with errors that within your code. Maybe this time you have not closed this. You try to run, so it will give you errors, and it will show you that in line this, no new line at the end, or you have not closed. So you have to go back, try to tap there, or try to see where you're having the problem and rectify. So here, when you try to put back there the closing tag, try to run, it will not give you errors. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next tutorial on how to use on how to program using C language. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.